Hi everyone, my name is Isaac, the crypto artist, and today we are going to look at 10 things to consider before buying Prospectors Grand land packs. Stay around for number 10 because it's the best for any new player, any person who has no idea what this game is about and they want to get into it. Alright, so let's dive in. If you've been living under a rock, if you have no idea what the Prospectors game is, I have a lot of videos about the game on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist that gives you all the tutorials about the game. So let's dive into it. Number one, the price of the grandland packs. So here is the thing. How much are you willing to lose actually? That's the first thing you need to think about. How much are you willing to lose? Because this is a game and it involves a lot of risk. So before you decide to get your hard-earned money and invest it, there's a thing thrown about in the crypto community that says don't invest more than you're willing to lose. So are you willing to lose that money that you're putting into the game? When the first Grandland sale happened on Wax, so many players bought land packs at inflated prices. As I speak at the moment, prices have plummeted. This is actually a very good time to buy, not financial advice. So yeah, those are the things that happen to players if they don't know what they are doing, and if they invest money they are not willing to lose. All right, so you need to think about that very carefully. Number two, return on investment. It takes quite a while to make a return on your investment. You either make your return by flipping the land packs you bought or by playing the game. And I am a big fan of this game, so I love to play the game instead of flipping. That is not to say that people who flip are bad or something, but I think flipping prospectors lands, if you don't really understand how the game works, is not a good idea, and there is evidence for that. I saw a flipper buying one of the Prospectors Grandland packs at 4,000 wax. If you're gonna make a return on your investment, you need to be smart about it. Are you gonna make your money back by flipping the Grandland packs or by playing the game? I like the latter because I love to play this game. I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of going through the fire in order to learn how business works. This is a virtual business, so I enjoy to try and simulate a few ideas. I like to test out my theories in the game just to see how they work. And remember, I don't invest more than I'm willing to lose. So the money I put into the game is prefaced with the idea that I might lose it all. And it has happened to so many players who don't know what they're doing, and they've lost it all. Prospectors is like real life business. You come with all the excitement, you get your money into the business, but if you don't know what you're doing, you lose it, and it's you to blame, not anyone else. Number three, poor plots. Any land park you're buying from Atomic Hub or other secondary marketplaces is not yet unpacked. In other words, you have no idea which land coordinates you have, and land coordinates greatly impact your game strategy and how much you're gonna make in the game. So prices are being thrown here and there, but what if it turns out that your plot is not resource rich? You will make a loss. So you need to think about poor plots. In case that piece of land you've invested your money in ends up without resources on it and in a poor location, then you're gonna make losses. So you need to think about that. Number 4, alliances. So alliances are very powerful things in this game if you know how to deal with alliances. So when I first started playing Prospectors, I learned a lot of stuff by forming an alliance. So I played with other players when the game was just in its testing phases, and I really enjoyed it because there are lots of ideas other players think about that you may not think about as an individual. So before buying any land packs, and if you're really planning to play the game, if you're going that route, you really need to join an alliance that is willing to work together. I personally play with King of Games and 24 Carat. I am the owner of 24 Carat. It's on the EOS server. We like to work together with King of Games because King of Games is the king of strategies. So your alliance needs to have a very good strategy, and they need to have a very strong team spirit before you can actually play and win. Yeah, that's it. The boomtowns are very crazy. I was part of alliances that went through the craziness of boomtowns. The splitting apart, the coming back together, the complaining. I mean, it's just amazing how crazy boomtowns can test your patience. If an alliance goes through boomtowns and survives them, I vibe with them, I rock with them. Yep, so that's it. Number 5, in-game businesses. So you may buy land packs right now, but without a business in mind, you're just taking a gamble. So you need to think, what sort of businesses do you want to do in the game? Are you really good at these businesses before you decide to put your hard-earned money into a particular business? The business you're going to do is largely driven by the type of land you get. If you get a resource-rich plot, then that will determine what sorts of businesses you're going to do on the land. If it's full of gold, then you may think about a gold mine. If it's full of ore, you may think about mining ore. If it's full of coal, you may get into the coal businesses. If you have multiple pieces of land, then you should also think about together how are you going to use them to your advantage. Yeah, that's something you need to keep at the back of your mind when you're thinking about which land packs to buy and when to buy. Sometimes if you're thinking about a particular business, it may be better if you wait for the land unpacking, the exploration to happen, so that you know exactly which resources are on a piece of land, so that you can value the pieces of land correctly before investing your money. Here is the thing, and it might be a risk. You may buy pieces of land right now, but you won't know which resources are on the pieces of land. So that's your decision to make. Number 6, your competitive advantage. So this is very important. A lot of new players get into the game and they have no idea what to do. That's why I started making tutorials about the game so that you practice right now before the grandland launches. If you practice now, life will be very easy for you when you get into the grandland. So what's your advantage? My advantage is I've been through thick and thin. I've made all my mistakes. Well, I've made most of my mistakes. So I don't expect myself to make those mistakes when the grandland launches. So be smart about it. Know what you're capable of. Understand the game before you take any moves. Here is the thing. Old players have an advantage in this game than new players. So how do new players end up not being taken advantage of? Number 1, join an alliance. Be a part of people who understand this game and learn from them. Learn from their mistakes. Ask them questions. People are very willing to answer these questions, even when you go to the Prospectors Telegram chat. So that is very important. Number 2 is practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better you become. It will improve your competitive advantage. Whether we like it or not, players who profit from this game literally take advantage of the weaknesses of newbies and players who have no idea what they're doing. So you need to carefully think about your competitive advantage. Number 7, the impact of existing old lands. So if you're buying packs for the new land, you need to know that there are old existing lands. I recently saw in the chat that some players didn't know that Prospectors is an old game. It has been here for at least 2 years. So they didn't know that old lands exist and the old lands are gonna be connected to the new lands. So with all the excitement happening right now, don't just think that there is only the grand land. The old lands exist and items from the old lands are going to move into the new land at some point. So you need to factor that into your calculations when you're planning for the grand land and buying land packs. Alright? Cool. Number 8, the player base and existing community. So right now the Prospectors community has about 5,500 players. That's going by the Telegram numbers. So you need to factor that into when you're buying your land packs. Is this community big enough for the kind of return you're hoping for? And among those existing players, how many are going to play the game actively and how many are here just to flip and move on to other things? One thing that gives me confidence is that since this game started, we have a core base of at least 1,000 active players. I vibe with the community. I've made lots of friends in this game. One of the coolest friends I've made in the crypto space playing this game. Number 9, the available tools by the community and information sources. Let me explain. So we have really cool players in our community. Some are programmers, some are artists, some are players, and some are just cool people. We have Ivan. Ivan made some really cool tools that interact with the blockchain and send data that players can take advantage of. So I'll link Ivan's websites in the description below, so be sure to check that out. The other tool is the Prospectors calculator. This tool was made by Marlon and I'll also link it below, so do check it out, and it helps out a lot if you're planning to be an active player and if you're buying land packs for that purpose. Alright, so that's very important. And number 10, this is what you've been waiting for. This is by far one of the most important things I think you should know before you buy land packs. There are free plots of land. So you may want to buy land packs right now, but you should know that there are free plots of land that are gonna be in the grand land. If you don't want to invest any sort of money, if you have no idea how the game works right now, why spend money buying stuff you don't understand when you can actually play this game for free? This is why I think this is very exciting, that a player who has no idea how this game works can learn how it works. I have tutorials, shameless plug. You can play this game from scratch and actually make money. I tested this out myself on the Wax blockchain. So I wanted to do an experiment and started with my workers with nothing. Anyone who understands how this game works can actually take advantage of that and don't even have to buy any land packs. Thanks for watching. I hope you are very smart about the land packs you buy. Or if you don't buy at all, that's a good idea too. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to catch you next time. Peace.